This was a question I got from somebody who is not attending the workshop. So obviously, whatever I said to them didn't convince them that this was going to be different. But some of you were at the workshop we did in November last year. I know Chuck was in Orange County, right? Was anybody else Lucian was here, yeah. And Dan was here. But the rest of you are all relatively newbies, right? Okay, so you're not probably as concerned that what's happened in November. You want to know if it's going to be different. So tell me what's going to be new. Okay, so my response to that is, first of all, the markets are constantly evolving, so whatever we're looking at will always change. So one of the really important sessions that I had in some of our Orange County meetings was a session with Gil Morales where he talked about market context. So the market is changing all the time. So I gave a workshop in Bradenton in 2008, and in 2008, what was the market doing? It was going down. In 2009, I gave a workshop in Fullerton in California. And at that time, the market was going up. So there's always something different about the market. It changes all the time. It's always trying to catch you off guard. Okay, so because that's happening, my approach to the market is consistently changing as well. Okay, and when you're at a market bottom, you want to be more of an investor. And I've got a quote from George Soros at the end as well, where he says, at market bottoms, you want to be an investor. At market tops, you have to learn to be a trader. So your approach to the market has to change with the market itself. I think that's really important. So again, we talked about several stocks. The last sessions that we've had online, we've given some lists of stocks. And so 2 weeks ago, we talked about the biotech starting to break out, and the next week, LABU was up over 20%, and several of the biotechs were leaders for the week. Last weekend, we discussed gold and silver miners, and on Monday, JNUG was up over 20%. For the week, it was one of the top performers. So again, several of the gold and silver stocks have had a really good week. And again, it's not unusual if you've had a really good week not to have as good a week the following week. Another of the stocks I talked about was First Majestic, and that stock has been just on fire since January of this year. So has anybody in this room traded First Majestic? Any of the silver stocks? How come Dan has? Probably because he's paying attention. So that's one of the things I talked about is paying attention. Okay, so again, I'm going to talk about decision-making process that allows us to select those tickers, and we're going to do some work with Chris as well on things that are currently in play, how to find them, and as always, I always talk about buy and sell triggers. So the buy and sell triggers won't change. Okay, but what will change is the current list of things that we're trading. Okay, another thing that will be new this session is that I've started using Best Software. So I used Best Choice for the longest time for seasonality and range trading. Okay, so when people ask me about the seasonality softwares, I usually like to say that I think they both have benefits. What I really like about Best Choice is the ability to import lists and the ability to scroll through things very quickly. Okay, so I know that the competition out there has a good seasonality section as well, and I know the seasonality that's very good, but I have a real problem with some of the competition's templates, just trying to go through them quickly and trying to import lists and trying to save lists. So I like Best Choice because of that, and I like the interface a lot better as well. So it's very easy to go from one type of chart to another type of chart. Okay, and then the other difference that you'll notice is that Barry will be in this afternoon. Again, he'll talk about the gold miners. Okay, so it was a good question, and as I said, he probably wasn't that impressed with my answer. And most of you never asked that question, and it seems that I think Lucian's the only one that's back. beside Chris and Dan, okay?